As Marcus Aurelius once said, life is a journey, and we sometimes encounter people who hold us back. What if someone in your life disrupts your inner peace? The difficult truth is that sometimes it is best to cut ties with someone, even if you care deeply about them. This is never a simple decision. We often feel obligated to maintain relationships, especially with family members. However, certain red flags can indicate that a relationship is becoming toxic and needs to be changed. In this video, we'll explore 13 signs that it's time to consider breaking ties with someone to live a more virtuous and peaceful life. Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on what we can control, our ideas, perceptions, and actions, while detaching from what we cannot control, the outside world and the behavior of others. Using Stoic principles, we can achieve the clarity and strength required to navigate difficult relationships. But before we begin this journey, click the subscribe button and join our community of like-minded individuals seeking wisdom and better lives. Lesson 1. They consistently drain your energy. Let's delve into the first sign. They consistently drain your energy. Have you ever felt extremely exhausted after finishing a conversation with someone? While it's normal to feel a bit drained after interacting with most people, with some, it can be particularly overwhelming. If you find yourself feeling emotionally and psychologically depleted, these are the people to avoid. Epictetus, a major figure in Stoic philosophy, emphasizes the importance of protecting our inner fire or spirit. Think of this will as a spark. Just as a gentle wind helps a flame grow, healthy relationships keep our inner fire burning bright. In contrast, toxic relationships are like intense winds that can extinguish the fire completely. How does this idea apply to real life? Anger, irritation, and anxiety are just a few of the negative emotions that toxic encounters can trigger. Experiencing these feelings depletes our emotional and mental resources, making us feel exhausted, much like battling a constant headwind. Negative people can bring drama, negativity, and chaos into your life, requiring a lot of mental stamina to manage. Imagine constantly balancing on tiptoes, solving complex problems, or strategizing. If you're not careful, this mental strain can leave you feeling utterly exhausted. The Stoics advocated for a life of virtue, being honest, brave, and rational. Toxic encounters can hinder the maintenance of these values. For instance, someone's persistent criticism can tempt you to react with rage, straying from Stoic rationality and taking a toll on your inner peace. Understanding the drain that toxic people place on our energies allows us to make informed choices. Avoiding toxic individuals who deplete your emotional reserves is like closing a window during a blizzard. By cutting ties with negative influences, we preserve our stamina for the things that truly matter, spending time with inspiring people, doing what makes us happy, and living virtuously. Lesson 2. They disregard your boundaries. We build invisible boundaries in our relationships to define what is and isn't acceptable behavior. Establishing polite, healthy connections requires these boundaries. It is a serious warning sign when someone routinely ignores your limits. Roman emperor and Stoic thinker Marcus Aurelius stresses the importance of acting morally and with integrity. This includes defining and respecting boundaries. The Stoics held a concept known as the dichotomy of control, which involves distinguishing between what we can influence, our own ideas, deeds, and responses, and what we cannot, the outside environment and other people's conduct. Here's how this relates to boundaries: honoring your decisions. Setting boundaries is about honoring your decisions and wants. This could involve anything from establishing communication boundaries at work to outlining specific privacy requirements. When someone ignores your limits, they are essentially saying that your wants and preferences are unimportant. Safeguarding mental and emotional health. Setting limits helps protect our mental and emotional health. Think of your boundaries as a barrier that guards your inner tranquility. Someone who constantly oversteps is eroding that wall, causing tension and anxiety. The power of no courage is a fundamental virtue that the Stoics deemed essential for acting morally. Often it takes guts to set and enforce limits, especially with someone who doesn't like to hear no. However, leading an honorable life requires the courage to defend oneself. By adhering to Stoic principles, we can develop our ability to enforce our boundaries successfully. We can express our expectations clearly and politely, yet firmly correct someone when they go too far. This is not about being conceited or egotistical. It is about taking charge of our health and fostering positive, civil connections. Remember, you should be in partnerships where people respect and appreciate your boundaries. Lesson 3. They are emotionally abusive. A quiet weapon, emotional assault, can erode your sense of reality and self-worth. It can manifest in various ways, from subtle criticisms to overt threats and manipulation. It is a significant red flag if someone in your life regularly denigrates you, controls you through fear or guilt, or attempts to gaslight you into seeing things differently. Renowned Stoic philosopher Seneca cautioned against the perils of unpleasant feelings. He believed that feelings such as anger, fear, and depression could skew our judgment and make it difficult to think clearly. These unpleasant feelings are frequently used as tools for manipulation and control in the context of emotional abuse. Here's how Stoicism can support you in navigating an emotionally abusive relationship, protecting your mental health. Emotional abuse can severely affect your mental health, leading to anxiety, despair, and a sense of helplessness. The Stoics emphasized the importance of preserving mental health, as they believed it was essential for leading a moral life. By leaving an abusive situation, you prioritize your mental health and create space for inner calm. Preserving reason. Seneca believed that acting logically and remaining unaffected by emotions constitutes true freedom. Emotional abusers often exploit your feelings to control you. By recognizing the manipulative tactics and detaching from the emotional turmoil, you can maintain your sanity and make clear judgments about the relationship. Building resilience. Stoicism teaches us the importance of resilience in the face of adversity. Emotional abuse calls for resilience to escape. By applying Stoic principles, you can build the inner strength to separate from negativity and handle the difficult circumstances. Stoicism does not advocate suppressing feelings. Rather, it involves recognizing your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Becoming aware of the toxicity in an emotionally abusive relationship is the first step to taking action to defend yourself. Following Stoic ideas can help you recognize the warning signs of emotional abuse and take control of your well-being. You deserve relationships that support inner tranquility and emotional growth. Walk away from a situation that is harming you without fear. Lesson 4. They are physically abusive. Your most basic right to safety is flagrantly violated when physical violence is used. If someone you know has ever hit, shoved, or physically abused you, you must seek help and leave the relationship immediately. Stoicism fundamentally stresses virtuous living and self-preservation. No writing by a Stoic supports violence in any way. In this situation, your highest priorities are safety and well-being, which the philosophy instructs us to find the fortitude to act upon. This is why discussion is unnecessary. Unconditional safety, the value of self-respect. Self-respect is a fundamental virtue in the virtuous living. That Stoicism of first priority is your physical safety. There is no logical reason to put up with violence. The Stoics promoted leading a life of reason, and reasoning demands that your partnerships make you feel safe. Stresses. Physical abuse of any kind is a betrayal of your value. By leaving the situation, you show yourself respect and prioritize your health. Get help. It takes courage to end an abusive relationship. The Stoics held that one should rise to difficulties with fortitude and resilience. This does not, however, mean facing them alone. Consult reliable friends, relatives, or a domestic violence-focused professional organization. You are not alone in navigating this. There are tools at your disposal. As always, the greatest virtue is your safety. Decide to defend yourself without delay. Ending a relationship that is physically harming you is not a disgrace. It is a necessary step to ensure your well-being. Lesson 5. They are dishonest and untrustworthy. Any healthy relationship is built on trust. It's the unseen thread that keeps us connected and promotes emotional closeness and safety. But what happens when dishonesty undermines that trust? The foundation of your relationship is destroyed if someone you love lies to you, cheats on you, or breaks promises consistently. Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the value of leading a moral life. He stressed the need for integrity, honesty, and keeping one's word. Surrounding ourselves with others who share our ideals creates a happy and encouraging atmosphere. In a dishonest relationship, Stoicism can help you navigate as follows. The value of integrity. The Stoics believed that living with integrity meant that your deeds matched your beliefs. Honesty is a basic Stoic principle. When someone you trust is dishonest, it causes a contradiction between their words and deeds, which can be very disturbing. Maintaining your emotional health. Repeated lying creates distrust, fear, and a sense of betrayal. These feelings can significantly harm your emotional and mental health. The Stoics emphasized the importance of emotional health, and one way to prioritize your mental health is to end a dishonest relationship. Setting trust boundaries. Trust, like any other aspect of a relationship, requires boundaries. The Stoics believed that reason should guide behavior. By setting clear limits on acceptable behavior, including honesty, you explain your expectations and protect yourself from further emotional pain. Seeking out real friends. Stoicism stresses the value of surrounding yourself with supportive people. True friends are honest and reliable. By breaking up with dishonest people, you make room for genuine connections based on integrity and trust. You should be in partnerships where mutual trust and honesty are expected. Nothing less will do. Leaning on Stoic ideas can help you overcome these difficult circumstances and create a network of reliable friends who support your pursuit of a moral life. Lesson 6. They are always the victim. Do you have any acquaintances who always seem to play the role of the victim? They never take responsibility for their actions, continually blame others for their difficulties, and are always confronted with disaster. This interaction can be emotionally manipulative and completely draining. taking responsibility for one's own life was central to Stoic philosophy. In his work, Epictetus, a major Stoic philosopher, reminds us that many of the things we consider unfortunate, such as the loss of a job, illness, or unforeseen events, are beyond our control. However, we can control how we respond to the situations we face. Here's how Stoicism can help you navigate a relationship with someone who always plays the victim. Dichotomy of control. The Stoics believed in the dichotomy of control. This involves differentiating between the things we have control over, such as our own ideas, actions, and reactions, and the things we do not have control over, such as the external environment and the actions of others. When someone consistently plays the victim, they focus on things beyond their control, leading to negativity and powerlessness. By adopting a Stoic attitude, you can change your focus to what you can control, such as your reaction to their predicament. Self-determined responses. The Stoics believed our responses are ultimately determined by ourselves. A person who plays the victim allows their behavior and feelings to be dictated by their circumstances. Instead of letting the negativity of others bring you down, you can choose to respond with empathy and reason. Resilience. Training. Life is full of obstacles to overcome. Resilience, or the capacity to recover quickly from misfortune, was central to Stoic philosophy. Being in the company of someone who constantly plays the victim can be detrimental to your resilience. By removing yourself from this dynamic, you make room to focus on cultivating your inner strength and ability to navigate life's challenges. Protecting your well-being. Establishing healthy boundaries is crucial. Consistently playing the victim can be emotionally exhausting. By setting boundaries, such as limiting the time you spend with that person or refusing to participate in negative feedback loops, you can protect your emotional energy. Although you cannot control another person's actions, you can control how you react to situations. Practicing Stoic ideas can help you detach from negative thoughts, grow resilience, and focus on building your strength and well-being. Lesson 7. They are drama magnets. Do you know someone who seems to draw chaos the same way a lightning rod draws a storm? Their lives are a tornado of negativity and turmoil, always immersed in some new drama. While you may feel compelled to step in and fix problems, this can lead to more stress and frustration for you. Here's where Stoicism can provide insightful advice on overcoming these drama magnets and fostering inner tranquility. Known for stressing reason and virtue, the Stoics promoted a peaceful existence, free from needless disturbances. Leading Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote extensively about the need to avoid gossip and negativity, which he saw as disruptive factors that distort our judgment and divert us from leading moral lives. Here's how to cope with drama magnets with Stoicism, the control dichotomy in Stoicism. Revisited. This is where the fundamental Stoic idea of the dichotomy of control comes in. This idea reminds us to distinguish between things we can control, our own ideas, deeds, and responses, and those we cannot control, the outside environment and the behavior of others. Although drama magnets frequently thrive on external commotion, you are free to choose not to get involved, conserving your mental energy. Never-ending drama is emotionally taxing. Negativity can have a detrimental effect on your mental health, much like being near someone with a contagious disease can make you unwell. The Stoics held that leading a moral life requires protecting your mental energy. By staying away from drama magnets, you save your energy for things that truly matter. compassionate boundary setting. Healthy relationships depend on boundaries. Setting limits with drama magnets could mean avoiding involvement in their issues, refraining from engaging in gossip, or limiting contact. However, the Stoics also stressed compassion. Setting limits with empathy and kindness allows you to consider that the other person may be dealing with personal problems. Finding your inner peace. Living virtuously leads to a state of tranquility, which is ultimately the aim of inner peace. Cultivation. Drama magnets can disrupt this inner tranquility. By stepping away from the mayhem, you give yourself room for introspection, mindfulness, and leading a life consistent with your principles. Never forget that you have no business solving the issues of others. You can learn how to separate from negativity, prioritize your mental health, and discover your own path to inner tranquility by adhering to Stoic ideas. As you concentrate on building your peaceful and focused life, let the drama magnets draw their storms elsewhere. Lesson 8. They are envious and competitive. Healthy partnerships bring both delight and support. We celebrate each other's accomplishments and encourage one another during difficult times. However, some people are plagued by envy and competition, making partnerships a never-ending war for affirmation. If someone you know regularly criticizes or undermines your accomplishments, you may feel alone and discouraged. Stoicism provides useful ideas toward generating genuine happiness and fostering positive relationships. Epictetus, a significant figure in Stoic philosophy, emphasized that true happiness comes from within, rather than from outward affirmation or comparisons to others. External elements like income, prestige, and even other people's achievements are ultimately beyond our control. Instead, the Stoics recommend focusing on what we can control, such as our own ideas, actions, and reactions. Here's how Stoicism can assist you in negotiating relationships filled with jealousy and competition. True joy in virtuous living. Stoicism believes that true joy is found in living virtuously and acting in accordance with one's values. This entails developing qualities such as honesty, courage, and fairness. When someone is continually trying to discredit your accomplishments, it's easy to become engrossed in their negativity. However, focusing on your own virtuous activities and personal development is a more lasting source of happiness. Perspective on envy. Envy frequently arises from a skewed perspective. Someone who is envious may focus primarily on your success, dismissing their own accomplishments or failing to recognize your efforts. The Stoics stress the significance of perspective. You can break free from the negativity of envy by embracing your own qualities and appreciating the path to your accomplishments. Celebrating others' victories. Stoicism opposes apathy. It's critical to genuinely applaud the accomplishments of others. Appreciating the successes of those around you creates a sense of community and develops beneficial relationships. When you focus on praising other people's accomplishments, envy has a tougher time taking root within you. Finding your cheerleaders. Surround yourself with people who truly support and applaud your accomplishments. These are the cheerleaders who urge you to improve and celebrate your victories. By creating healthy interactions, you foster a supportive environment that promotes true happiness and personal development. Remember, you don't need the approval of jealous people to be satisfied with your accomplishments. Concentrate on your own development, enjoy others' triumphs, and build a community of supportive cheerleaders. Following these Stoic ideals will allow you to live a more meaningful and pleasant life. Lesson 9. They are negative and critical. Negativity can quickly lower your mood and sap your energy, much like a gloomy cloud. Your well-being may suffer greatly if someone in your life is unrelentingly critical, pessimistic, or depressed. Still, the Stoics provide a potent way to develop hope and fortify oneself against adversity. Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius underlined the value of developing a constructive mental outlook. He thought that even in the face of adversity, concentrating on the positive aspects of life encouraged inner fortitude and thankfulness. Here's how Stoicism can assist you in negotiating toxic relationships. The power of perspective. A skewed perception of reality is a common source of negativity. Constant critics may ignore the good things in situations in favor of concentrating only on the bad. One method that the Stoics promoted was cognitive reframing, which involves facing down pessimistic ideas and seeing things from a different angle. You can protect yourself from negativity by deliberately adopting a more upbeat viewpoint. The Stoic dichotomy of control. Recall the dichotomy of control, the fundamental Stoic idea of separating what you can control, your thoughts, deeds, and reactions, from what you cannot control, the outside world and the behavior of others. A pessimist would bemoan outside circumstances all the time. The Stoics advise you to concentrate on the things you can change, such as your own thoughts and the way you respond to criticism. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude is a potent cure for negativity. The Stoics held that you should spend some time every day thinking back on your blessings, no matter how small. This exercise turns your attention from the bad things in your life to the good. Developing thankfulness helps you become more resilient emotionally and more hopeful. Positive boundaries. Protecting your personal well-being by establishing limits is acceptable. This could mean avoiding negative people, gently ending too critical discussions, or emphasizing the good things that happened in your encounters. Recall that while you cannot stop other people from being negative, you can limit how much of it you let in. You have the option to be optimistic. Stoic ideas can help you nurture a good attitude, strengthen your resistance to negativity, and lead a more meaningful life full of hope and thankfulness. Don't allow the unfavorable comments of others to make you less bright. Select hope and see how your inner light brightens. Lesson 10. They take but never give. Healthy partnerships are a lovely ballet of support and exchange between the parties. There is harmony when you offer and get support, goodwill, and help. But some individuals develop a habit of sapping your time, energy, and resources without ever giving anything back. This produces an unfair dynamic that could make you feel exhausted and resentful. Reciprocity is crucial in relationships, as well-known Stoic philosopher Seneca stressed. He thought that the basis of real friendship is respect and encouragement for one another. By promoting a sense of camaraderie and mutual development, both partners support the health of the relationship. Here's how Stoicism can help you deal with one-sided partnerships, the Stoic dichotomy of control. This basic idea serves as a reminder to make the distinction between what we can control, our own deeds, and what we cannot control, the behavior of others. You cannot make someone more charitable, but you can choose how to react to their actions, creating healthy boundaries. Maintaining your health depends on having boundaries. Setting limits with a taker could entail putting limits on your time or money, graciously declining irrational requests, or being very clear about what you need. Recall that setting limits is about establishing a positive dynamic in the relationship, not about punishing someone. Recognizing unequal exchange, the Stoics held that reason should guide behavior. You can use this idea to evaluate the dynamic of your relationship impartially. Providing resources, assistance, or emotional support is something you do all the time. Does a reciprocal feeling exist, or are you constantly exhausted? Making educated selections starts with identifying the imbalance. Investing in balanced relationships. Relationships require care, just like a garden does. Positive relationships were something the Stoics valued. Spend time and effort building relationships with giving, encouraging people who also support and advance your well-being. These are the relationships that promote development and understanding between people. Recall that you ought to be in partnerships where there is equal giving and getting. Stoic ideas can help you establish appropriate limits, identify unfair dynamics, and prioritize caring relationships that bring happiness and support to both parties. Leave relationships that drain you and make you feel undervalued without fear. There are those out there who will appreciate having you around and will return the favor. Lesson 11. They make you feel bad about yourself. In a healthy relationship, each partner should uplift the other, offering motivation and constructive feedback on strengths and areas for improvement. However, some individuals have a knack for diminishing your self-esteem, making you feel continually belittled and chastised. Such connections can be extremely harmful. Discover the profound wisdom of Stoicism as it provides practical guidance for enhancing and safeguarding your self-esteem. Stoic wisdom on internal judgments. Stoic philosopher Epictetus advises us to separate our internal judgments from external conditions, which include what other people say and do. While we lack control over others' actions, we possess tremendous control over our own reactions. This is how Stoicism can assist you in dealing with relationships that lower your self-esteem, bringing back the Stoic dichotomy of control. This fundamental principle reminds us to prioritize our own thoughts, deeds, and reactions, and to release any attachment to the behavior of others. Constantly critical people may be trying to manipulate you, but you don't have to take it personally. Managing your inner dialogue. The Stoics emphasized that our sense of self-worth is greatly affected by the internal dialogue we have with ourselves. When someone is always bringing you down, try talking positively to yourself instead. Make a point of highlighting your positive traits, achievements, and strengths. Differentiating between opinion and truth. Not all criticisms are the same. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between constructive criticism and harmful personal attacks, masquerading as advice. Develop the ability to distinguish between helpful feedback and negative comments that undermine your self-worth. Building genuine self-worth. Genuine self-worth does not come from external sources, but from within. Live virtuously and in alignment with your values, as the Stoics advised. Focus on activities that make you happy, work on your strengths, and concentrate on improving yourself. The strong foundation for self-worth lies in this internal confirmation of your own value. Establishing boundaries. For your own safety and well-being, boundaries are crucial. Set limits with someone who is always finding something negative to say. This could mean restricting contact, gently pointing out their negativity, or distancing yourself from the relationship altogether. Safeguarding your self-esteem is of utmost importance. cherishing yourself. Remind yourself that you are deserving of love and respect. By adhering to Stoic ideals, you can learn to separate yourself from negativity, develop positive self-talk, and establish a solid internal foundation for self-worth. Remain untarnished by those who try to diminish your inherent brightness. Prioritize interactions that affirm and enhance your unique identity. By applying Stoic principles, you can navigate relationships more effectively, protect your self-esteem, and cultivate a healthier sense of self-worth that comes from within. Lesson 12. They are a bad influence. The people we choose to associate with profoundly impact our lives. They shape our routines, actions, and even our thoughts. If someone in your life is consistently encouraging you to engage in harmful or risky behavior, it poses a serious threat to your principles and goals. Here's how the wisdom of Stoicism can help you choose wise friends and build a strong support system. Stoic wisdom on friendship. Seneca, a prominent Stoic thinker, emphasized the importance of cultivating friendships based on dignity, compassion, and mutual improvement. Surrounding yourself with good people creates an environment that fosters virtue and personal development. The power of free will Stoicism teaches the strength of free will and personal decision-making. Despite negative influences attempting to sway you, ultimately, your decisions are your own. You can choose to ignore negative influences and redirect your energy towards positive endeavors that align with your values, reflecting on the Stoic dichotomy of control. This foundational Stoic concept reminds us to separate what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, from what we cannot control, such as the actions and emotions of others. Even when faced with manipulation from negative influences, you have the power to resist and protect your own well-being. Establishing clear boundaries, protecting your health and happiness requires setting clear boundaries, refusing to participate in harmful activities, asserting your own decisions respectfully, or limiting contact with negative influences are effective ways to establish boundaries. The purpose of setting limits is not to judge others, but to shield yourself from negativity. Seeking positive relationships. Seek out relationships with people who inspire you and share your goals and values. These individuals will support you through challenges, encourage you to make virtuous decisions, and provide the inspiration you need to lead a fulfilling life. Sticking to your principles. Stoics advocated for making virtue your compass in life, acting with reason, justice, courage, and other admirable qualities. Before making decisions, consider whether they align with your principles and values. A clear sign that someone isn't a good influence is when they encourage you to act against your values. Choosing your inner circle. Your inner circle significantly influences your journey through life. It's crucial to surround yourself with positive influences who uplift and support you in living a life of virtue and fulfillment. Following Stoic principles will help you identify negative influences, establish healthy boundaries, and cultivate relationships that contribute positively to your well-being. By applying Stoic teachings, you can navigate relationships more effectively, protect yourself from negative influences, and build a supportive network that fosters personal growth and happiness. Lesson 13. Trust your gut feeling. Your gut feeling sometimes tells you that negotiating a relationship involves more than just spotting an obvious red flag. It's a complex sensation, ongoing discomfort, imbalance, or a persistent hunch that something is wrong. Often dismissed as mere intuition, These gut instincts are crucial. Though the Stoics didn't directly discuss intuition, they highly valued self-awareness. Choosing the individuals you surround yourself with honors this inner truth. Here's how Stoic ideas can help interpret your intuition and navigate difficult relationships. The power of self-awareness. The Stoics emphasized developing profound self-awareness, including acknowledging your desires, values, and emotions. When something about a relationship makes you uncomfortable, take a step back for introspection. Identify your emotions and any compromises to your values. Understanding your internal signals can provide valuable insights into the source of discomfort. Thinking and feeling collaboratively. While Stoicism emphasizes reason, it doesn't discount intuition. Think of your gut feeling as a subconscious nudge, possibly picking up on subtle clues. Analyze situations using reason, but also respect your gut feeling. They can collaborate to guide your decisions. The value of self-preservation. Fundamentally, Stoicism stresses leading a moral life aligned with your beliefs. If a relationship makes you feel anxious, uncomfortable, or violated, Stoics believed in prioritizing mental and emotional well-being. Making decisions aligned with your values and intuition can lead to a more fulfilling life. Conclusion. Deciding to cut off contact with someone, especially someone close, can be challenging if the relationship causes emotional strain. Assessing potential rewards against emotional strain is crucial. Seek professional support, like therapy, to navigate this decision. Surround yourself with supportive people who prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Remember, nurturing yourself is essential. If a relationship is harmful, you have the strength and clarity to manage it and build a more positive and satisfying life by applying Stoic principles consistently. For daily Stoic insights, consider subscribing to Daily Stoic.